Escom is the sole electric power provider in Malawi and has on its long list of clientele, commercial and domestic users. For one to be connected to Escom system, they must go through the application process until they are accepted and duly connected to the system. When does a connection become illegal?
Illegal connections, just to define what they are connections that are not authorized by Escom. These can be connected through the meter. Some are connected bypassing the meter. That's what we term illegal connections. So our department, being responsible for monitoring supply, is correctly metered, and also actually connecting new customers that have just applied. Then we are interested, or we monitor those connections as we go on door-to-door visits. We check whether there have been additionals on the illegal connections.
Illegal extensions, as described earlier, ought to increase Escom revenue and also ease the burden on Escom for new connections.
Where there are illegal connections, you find that apart from some of the suppliers not being metered, there are fluctuations in the supply of electricity, and then those fluctuations sometimes they cause damage to electrical appliances, and all those at the end of the day Escom ends up reimbursing the concerned consumers. And also sometimes that causes the illegal connections, it causes a severe strain on our transformers, and transformers, they may even pack up because of that strain. And after packing up, that means replacing the transformer, which is worth millions of kwajas.
What consequences is Escom suffering due to these malpractices?
The unmetered supply will result into loss of revenue, as I pointed out. And that loss of revenue will affect the cash flows of Escom, where maybe we're supposed to buy more materials so that we can connect more customers. We will be unable to do that because we've lost money.
Some illegal connection perpetrators, especially those guilty of illegally connecting other houses beyond their legal requirement on application, have attributed their malpractice to Escom's delay in processing their applications for the other houses, and hence have to take this risk to fast-track everything whilst waiting for Escom's assistance. What is Escom's take on this?
When we are doing revenue protection, we go to a house, we check, because the supply is connected from the pole to the house. From the house it goes through the meter and then to the main switch for the customer, so that whatever he's using is monitored, and for the old system the bills are generated at the month end. For the new system prepared, then if whatever is in the meter is used up, the meter will switch them off. So in that event, you find people bypass the meter. When you say bypass, is passing, avoiding the meter. So they rewire their houses to tap power before the meter into the house to use without paying for it. That's a meter bypass. For people who have meter bypasses, it is not because of the delay by Escom. If you look at it critically, you'll find we have customers who've been waiting for a long time because of no materials, and some occasions maybe the supply is not available immediately because of maybe lack of capacity in the transformer, but they patiently wait. But these people that do the meter bypasses are just bent to steal, because you find a lot of hungry people on the street. They don't just walk in the shops and take items. But when there is a thief, he will jump in PTC and steal. It's the same with us. These people, they can say we pushed them to do that because we delayed. But if you look at it critically, it is really not because of the delays. It is a group of people who are bent to steal from an organization like Escom. The person, if he's tapped the power like that, yes, it can be due to the delay. But the other thing you have to consider is an installation has got to be inspected before it is connected, because it can be dangerous if you just connect without getting it inspected. So that is a requirement. So you see, you find this person is doing that maybe because he's impatient, but it is very, very dangerous, and you can lose life because of connecting to an installation which is not tested. In such a case, that's what we term illegal connections. As I said, it's a connection to power without the authorization of Escom. That's an illegal connection. It could be that the supply is metered, but he has connected an installation which is not yet legalized to be connected to power.
For any wrongdoing, there are consequences to face in the long run. No one can escape the long arm of the law, and there is no exception in this Escom scenario.
Let all patriotic Malawians be reporting such cases wherever they discover them. They can report to their community leaders in the areas where they stay. They can report to the police, or they can report to Escom for appropriate action.
In the cases of meter bypass and unmetered supply, it is only Escom skilled personnel who can discover that, as opposed to the layman. How does Escom police such unwelcome technical activities?
When we go to inspect such premises, every house you declare to say my house will have 10 sockets, will have 20 lights, or if it's a small one, they can have a fewer number. Now, when we go and find that, you go to the other houses connected to that house, then the others are declared as illegal connections. As I said, not yet inspected. Those we treat, according to the Escom bylaws, where we charge them for illegally connecting the other buildings.
We sensitize our consumers, or at least people that live in those areas. We encourage them to be reporting to their community leaders about people that are doing those malpractices, and they may even report to the police and indeed to nearest Escom offices for action.
When we are connecting a house, the electricity wiring, what is done by the electrician in the house or the contractor, is supposed to be inspected before we connect. And that is very, very important, because electricity is very good, but is also extremely dangerous if you misuse it. So the inspection that is carried out by Escom to make sure to confirm the installation is safe is very, very critical. That's why we term these illegal connections, and we punish the people who connect like that, because it is very dangerous. So the message is, whenever there is an installation to be connected, it must be inspected by Escom. If there is a delay, for whatever reason, they still have to wait, because it is very dangerous to connect an installation which is not inspected by Escom. A contractor maybe used a defective gadget, and they don't know, and they just connect. It can result in somebody losing his life. So wherever installation is wired, it must be inspected by Escom before anybody can connect power to it.
The general public is Escom's eyes in this counterproductive illegal connections business. They must keep their eyes peeled open and police any such unfortunate illegal practices. But for all this hassle, what is there in it for them?
Our message to patriotic Malawians is for them, as I said, to be reporting to their community leaders, to the police, or indeed to the nearest Escom offices. And for every reported case where arrest takes place as a result of that report, there is a reward payable to that person who reported. Where the reward is and where money is concerned, everyone is interested in money, to say, let me report so that I can get money. So the responses there have been very positive so far.
Well, in this revenue protection department, our job is to ensure customers are metered correctly and safely. And the customer has got a very big role to play. He wires his house on his own, and we come and inspect after it is wired. So it is very, very important for the customer to wire their houses to standard using the correct materials. If they are not conversant with what is happening, they should always hire a competent contractor. They can also come to Escom and seek advice on how to do their wiring. When they have done their wiring, they should not accept the electricians that go around to ask people to do bypasses or illegal extensions for them, because we have those cases on the rise where they portray themselves as Escom employees and connive with the customers to do the illegal connection or meter bypasses. That is extremely dangerous. People have lost lives, and you never know, it can be you if you are involved in this malpractice. Electricity is very safe and very good, but it is also extremely dangerous.
Illegal connections and unmetered supply are rife in our communities, and oftentimes we are aware of that. It is a fact. These malpractices are not only hampering Escom's operations, but commercial and domestic users as well. They are also a safety hazard, as accidents can happen with dire effects and no compensation from Escom. Most deserving and potential Escom customers are disadvantaged because of this evil practice. It is the duty of every peace-loving Malawian to police such illegal activities and report all illegal connections to the relevant authorities. Putting in check all these will guarantee existing Escom customers and potential customers a brighter future.